Hey there YouTube, it's 018 sethshadow here. This time I'm going to be doing another card review on the Pale Moon Grade 1 unit known as Purple Trapezist. This card is from set 7, Rampage of the Beast King. Grade 1, so it has a boost rate. And it's 5000 shield with 6000 power. It's a succubus type. And its ability: when this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a Pale Moon Vanguard, you may pay the cost. The cost is choose another of your Pale Moon rearguards and put it into the soul. If you do that, choose a Pale Moon other than Purple Trapezist from the soul and call it to the rearguard. With the introduction of this card from Rampage of the Beast King, Pale Moon, I would say definitely got a lot more versatile and stronger because of all the different types of things you can do with this card. So let's just start with a loop kind of thing. Essentially, let's say you have Silverthorn Dragon Tamer as your Vanguard and you're going for final turn, but you want power. This is what you do. You'll have a Trapezist on the field, and you'll also have Girl Who Crossed the Gap. Counterblast with Girl to put it in soul. Then take a Trapezist that you have from the soul outside. Luke here will go up 3k. Then you can use the called Trapezist effect to put the other one that you have on the field in soul, and call Girl back out. Luke here will go up another 3k, giving it 6k. Now you can just repeat the process with one more counterblast. So essentially, for every counterblast you have, you'll up Luke here by 6k power. So if you have 5 damage, you can essentially up Luke here by 30k. And I'm pretty sure there's almost no way your opponent can block that, especially if Luke here is going to get boosted. Of course, if your opponent has a perfect guard, it's all but a waste. But it's a final turn possibility in the event that your opponent just doesn't have a perfect guard. Other things you can do with Trapezist. Let's just have this. And the Trapezist in soul. Some things you can do include using Midnight Bunny. If Bunny's attack hits, or Bunny's boosted attack hits, you just counterblast one and raid with a card in the soul, and then you can just call Trapezist out. Some ways you can take good advantage of this are as follows. Imagine you have maybe a Crimson Beast Aimer in it. Let's just say you have a turquoise here, and let's maybe, or you know what, I'll just use Alice. Attack with Alice. Maybe your opponent decides, oh shoot, I don't want it to hit. Block it. And then Luke here attacks with Bunny. Your opponent decides to, let's just assume the attack hits essentially. Counterblast, put Bunny into the soul and get Trapezist out. Then just put Alice in soul with Trapezist effect and call it back out. So Trapezist can essentially serve as a stand trigger in this case. Stand up the unit there and back it up with more boosting ability. So essentially you stand an entire column. This is mostly effective with Midnight Bunny though, because if you try to do this with Alice, for instance, if Alice's attack hits, Alice is the one going to soul, Trapezist is the one coming out. But Alice is in soul now. Now you can't use Trapezist's effect on the Alice that you just put into the soul. You'd have to select something else and then call Alice back out. And in addition, if you had a booster initially for Alice, and you put Alice into the soul for Trapezist, calling it here will force the retirement of the unit that was boosting. Calling it up here just means you'll have a weaker unit in front. And if you want to call a new booster, it's usually not In fact, it's pretty much never going to be strong enough to hit for a 10k unless it's a turquoise while you have a tamer in soul. Which brings me to another way you can use Trapezist. If you want to get a Crimson Beast tamer in soul but just haven't been able to via any soul charge methods, and you have one in hand that you want to soul charge, you can just call Trapezist to put tamer in soul and then call something else out. So it's just another way to get Crimson in soul while also just not minusing yourself too badly. So those are some overall combos you can use with it. It's a pretty versatile card which works with almost anything Pale Moon has to offer. Just call it either from your hand, from the soul, anywhere. And you can basically swap anything and get stronger units out, call out for another attack, and boosting up units like Lukier. So that is Purple Trapezist. A very versatile Pale Moon card that has made them a lot stronger with set 7 and additional support from set 7. Hope you enjoyed, guys.